temple requires no clothes, no high heels, no pantyhose. I'm not trying to be malicious.
Oh, it doesn't sound great.
Heretical.
I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what's I don't know, that one isn't working very well on here. So I like the song a lot, and it breaks my heart to listen to it that way. So we'll just get her going here, people. So here we go.
In a world where equality is just another euphemism for mediocrity, where participation is more highly valued than achievement, where just enough to get by is the new standard of excellence, there is a small minority of people who fight back against such apathy, who struggle daily to reach new heights. These brave few are the hope for the future, the bright shining light for the next generation. They are the ones who will lead us to the places we have never dreamed of, to the undiscovered country, to reach goals only a few can even begin to imagine. Unfortunately, none of those people could be here tonight, so kick back and relax, prepare yourself for several hours of fun, friendship, fascinating conversation, and fabulous music. All those F's, that's an alliteration and kind of a radio trick. Speaking of radio, you're listening to the most popular radio station in the history of broadcast radio, at least among stations that originate from Chris's living room. It's Curious Times. Your host is a curious listener. Here she is, Chris.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Curious Times. It's Friday night. Welcome to your weekend if you're one of those Monday to Friday people, which I wish I could be again one day soon. And we have Barbara-delong here tonight. Yay! We're rescheduling Barbara because of the little kerfuffle that happened that kept us off air there that one day. Black Day in July. It was August, but anyway. So anyway, Barbara's here, and we'll catch up with her. Let me just tell you what else is coming up in the next little bit here. Tomorrow, Yvette Howell is here. Woo! And Kelly from the Cara Center is here on Sunday. Monday, Diana Monroe. Tuesday, Lisa Noland. Wednesday, Lisa Lamendola is back. Jen Young is hopefully back next Thursday. It's an empty open spot next Friday, so we'll either do a music or a numerology thing or something like that. My rash is starting to fire up on me again. I had an allergic reaction to a necklace, and I got my own ring of fire going on around my neck. It's almost like I got hung or something. You know what I mean? And all the way to the back as well, bumps and everything back there. It's bad. Okay, while I'm melting here, like an hour ago I was freezing and I put on a long sleeve shirt. And then just as the show was, and I turned the fan off, and now as the show is starting, I'm like, holy henya, I'm going to die of heat exhaustion. And so anyway, okay, so that tells you that. So that's what's coming up. I don't have any. Oh, I do want to say, wahaha, to the Canadian women. I don't think that a single Canadian man has won a medal yet. And we have quite a number of medals, and we've won medals in each of every day of the Olympics so far. All women. All women. And today, Team Canada soccer women beat France, who they never should have beat. United States is out of it. They lost today. And so we're in tough against Germany in the semifinal, but we've already beat Germany during this tournament. So you shall see what happens. But I want to say, proud to be a Canadian woman. Woohoo! And so that's good. Yeah, I should have just looked up my. I sometimes don't know if it's just menopause or that's causing me to be hot or it's really hot. You know what I mean? It's 80 degrees Fahrenheit in where I sit right now. And so there you go. That's hot enough for me. You know what I'm saying? It's too hot without air conditioning. Okay, Barbara's here. Barbara is like so much and then some, and too much to say, because she always hates it when I say anything about her. So she has her website, barbara-delong.com, and I could have swore I did. It's just I didn't change it on that thing. But okay, and of course Barbara DeLong is on her own radio show called Nightlight that airs on freedomslips.com, and otherwise known as Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. And I think that's Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll see if that's still the case. You could check out some YouTube documentary that she did called Secrets of the Stones. Just look up the account Oracle Tracker. Oracle Tracker. That's the username of the account. And that's about all I got to say about that. So let's just go get Barbara. Hey, Barbara, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fine, aside from the fact that it's not Wednesday, so I forgot.
Now, that could have been our little secret. But
Nah, I have it in my calendar. It's on my calendar on the website, but I've been through a whole process of shifting and changing and getting new computers and everything, and I just haven't been as attentive as I should.
New computer is such a, oh my God, and there's still stuff on my old computer, but because I only have one monitor, like it's such a pain in the ass for me to unhook this computer and hook it all up to that computer. Then I have to swap out keyboard and mouse because different connections, you know what I mean? And so it's just such a pain in the ass to go back to the old computer and retrieve what I need. So I just kind of keep putting it off,
No, I had to transfer everything from the old computer to the new computer, then reorganize it, and then step up techie-wise so that there's a C drive that's 3 terabytes and a D drive that's 1 terabyte. So it are big.
Yeah, it are big. That lot of that terabytes you got there.
Well, don't forget, have all of Patrick's stuff, all of my stuff, all of the website stuff.
She got muted. Hang on. Where is she? Barbara, if you ever hear a beep in your ear, it means you got muted by accident, and you can quickly unmute yourself by pressing 1.
Okay.
It otherwise all no. Okay, stop. I already unmuted you. Okay, so
we'd beep back and forth all night at this rate.
You'll hear a beep if you get muted and a beep when you get unmuted. And so just saying, if you all of a sudden are in the middle of talking and you hear a beep, it means the system sort of accidentally muted you. And you can just quickly press the 1 on your own and beat me to it,
You have a wonky switchboard for sure.
Well, it's actually a thing with I can't explain. I have a sense that if there's just a little millisecond of a blip in the connection, it does it, But that is what it is. So but anyhow. So what's new? I do have something to mention and talk about, and then I have some people play 21 questions or 20 questions. I'm playing a different game today, but anyhow,
okay.
What do you have to tell us? Any exciting?
Let me see. Just starting new programs, teaching new classes in spiritual development. Starting a weekly meditation here in Connecticut. Anybody who's in my area, it's at the Ruby Tree, and it'll be on Sunday nights starting at 7:00. And I kind of missed. I did weekly meditations for 17 years, and I kind of was getting nostalgic that it would be fun to run another one. But
awesome.
not having people in my house this time. Last time I did it in my house, when the groups got too large, I would find people looking in my underwear drawer, and I don't shop at Victoria's Secret, so it was embarrassing.
Well, who in the hell? What is with people? Who is going to open somebody's dresser freaking drawer?
Just, well, that did, kind of, I did cancel everything for a while there and then start again with a new group. So
it doesn't matter, even more so. You know what I mean? You don't know me nearly well enough to be rooting around in my panty drawer, buddy.
Yeah. So this time it's at a store, and it's a great store, and there's a huge room that I can use for it. So if I have 100 people, they'll fit. So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. And I found one of my very favorite quotes of W.C. Fields that I think applies to the times. He said, "You can either dazzle them with brilliance or baffle them with bullshit."
With bullshit, yeah.
I really love that phrase. I may actually have to needle point that or something because.
Yeah, needle point it.
Yeah.
I got to make my point. I got a point to make, a needle point.
Yeah. No, I just he said a lot of really cool things, but that was one that I was searching for, and I finally found it, and it was like, okie dokie, going to keep that. Also, any of you out there who are into spirituality and reading spiritual books and stuff like that, there's a great website out there. It's called sacred-text.com. That's sacred-text.com. And you can research any topic, and it pulls up all of the texts that are on that particular topic, and it's amazing, and it's a free site.
That's the same place where all the Emerald Tablet stuff is too, isn't it? There's also another one that has the word Bible in it. Bibli something. I don't know. Shut up, Chris.
Well, that's more Bible oriented. This is sacred text. So
yeah, I know. I know, but I think I saw some stuff on. Anyway,
maybe
doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter,
Other than
that,
it's like in the 90s here, and I've been sitting inside for the last week because I won't go outside in the heat.
Mm-hmm. So I noticed on your website, that you have this. There's an article on there or something like that about. The bones, the ooh parts. Evidence
Yes. The artifacts that were found that have been carbon dated, and they predate time itself.
Well, they don't. They predate what the Bible says. They
Oh yeah.
I think science has pretty much poo-pooed what the Bible says on that. You know what I mean? And but I just wanted to dovetail on that, and I give you guys the link to that. Article on Barbara's site, and there was a recent Canadian-led archaeologists. They found what they have carbon dated as 250,000-year-old tools, a bunch of tools. And so then back in the lab, later that day back in the lab, one of the people in the lab is we should test that, you know what I mean? And she's all like, oh no, like that won't never work, you know what I mean? And the person was persuasive enough that they did. They went and they sent in the first they sent in 44 tools. Let me see if that was the first set of tests. They sent in 44 tools, and out of that, 17 tested positive for protein residue with blood and other animal products. And so then they're like, she's like, whoa, and she starts like getting and gathering and sending, more stuff in for this testing, you know what I mean? DNA testing, essentially, you know what I mean? In a way. And so they say that they have, the oldest blood, basically, rhino blood from a stone. And it's 250,000 years old, they say. And this will be published in the Archaeologist's Journal Journal of Archaeological Science next month. And so it just kind of like when I noticed that on your website, I was like, oh, hey, I just recently read an article about them basically finding blood on tools and rocks that goes back like allegedly 250,000 years old. Never mind the 66, never mind 200,000 years old.
Yeah, no, I think that there are going to be so many of the oopses found over time that they're going to have to recalculate everything. Because I think that, scientists have tried their best, I would think, to put conservative dates on things, and they've tried to make everything fit into a nice, tight little bundle, but I don't think that that's a possibility. I think that there was an intelligent species here that could use tools, and were they human or humanoid or whatever? I mean, so we can find bones.
I just can't wait till they find the effing alien bones. That's what I want. And
I don't think they're going to find any, Chris.
I know. I thought that was, because probably they had the ability just to teleport the carcasses, back to wherever and beam me up. Beam my bones up, buddy. Beam my bones up when I'm dead and gone. Beam me up. Okay. So now we're gonna do like rapid fire just for some fun here. Rapid fire using your own website. You have your 101 questions. You have your 101 questions. So
okay.
let's jump into some of these, okay?
Okay.
So here's a good one because we get a lot of these, and I have to say myself, I think it could be fair to say that I've been good and stuck for 7 years or something like that. You know what I mean? And so let's take out 1 year because I intentionally wanted to have a year off. So let's say 6 years. So how do I change my life? How do I get out of this rut? How do I get through this difficult time? Or these are all similar questions, and
right.
You have a very simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Hey.
Well, we I don't even remember what I wrote, but the answer is really easy because we create our reality by our perception of it. So what you're focusing on as a rut, the more you focus on it, the more it becomes a rut. It's important to sort of shift your focus and see yourself as getting out of the rut, or see yourself in another aspect of life, or see it's you have total control over your reality, total. And if you feel that you're in a rut, certainly I always stress being creative, getting some energy flowing creatively, because what that does is it fuels your motion forward spiritually. Oftentimes when we're in a rut, it's because we've closed down those channels that have been fueling our forward motion, and we've just kind of gotten into a habit of not being creative at all, that we've really kind of just become a robot. And until we sort of shake ourselves out of the lethargy and the apathy and start being creative in our life somehow, that does shift focus, and it does bring creative and spiritual energy into your lifetime, and that moves you forward. Does it happen overnight? No. But if you are consistent with it, it absolutely does change and shift it gets you out of the rut. The groove can become a very deep rut in a heartbeat if you're not careful.
And as you say, focus on what's going right. This is also very true with sports. You know what I mean? Like the best athletes, they shake off that inferior performance that they just had, especially athletes at the Olympics that have other events to do still. And if they stay stuck in that, oh my God, I blew it, they're gonna blow them out. And if they can shake off the inferior, in their opinion, the inferior result, and just move to the next race and take the next race. In that case, like, look, I'm here, I qualified, I'm here, I'm at least in the top, whatever, you know what I mean? And it's funny to see some of the attitudes, like, of some of these athletes, you know what I mean? And
you hear coaches saying, "Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off," and that's truly exactly, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
I'm putting.
What? Hang on 2 seconds. Yes, Dion, because we can see you typing in the chat room. It means you are indeed in the chat room. And if you're one of the wireless callers, then I also have you there. Sorry, Barbara.
No problem. I have found, I think is the best book I've ever seen out there. It's called Transmutation Through Ascension, Soul of the Sun by Solaris Blue Raven. Any of you who are on a spiritual journey, who are looking for information, this is the best. It's only 100 pages. It's not an expensive book, but my goodness, it puts everything in absolutely beautiful perspective. So,
yeah, awesome. Good.
I don't often come on board and push a book, but this one, this is a special book. This is, I think, it's not only a basic handbook, but it's a confirmational handbook for those who have been on the path for a long time. And you want a link? It's on Amazon. Just look on Amazon.
Just Google it, for crying out loud. What the hell is wrong with you people? And so, okay, now let's jump, because, recently we had a discussion on the show here in Overtime, and it was regarding, like, people who get it in their mind that being charitable has to mean that you give money. You know what I mean? And that, there's many other ways of being charitable that doesn't involve, he who gives the most money is the best person or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have a little question on your website under your 101 questions that talks about how can I practice charity, and you go on to talk in there about like money charity versus like spiritual, charity, etc. And so tell us about all the ways that a person can be considered charitable even though they don't have, a pot to piss in or a dollar to give to someone.
Well, I'll tell you, I personally feel that giving money is not being charitable. It's a very easy cop-out of, throwing $1 or a 20 or a 5 into a collection plate, or giving somebody $5 who's on the street. I mean, I'm not saying don't be charitable and don't give people money. That's a good thing. But if you really want to be charitable, if you really want to be spiritually charitable, then you give your time, because the most priceless thing you have is time. And if you share that with someone by listening to them, by walking with them, by sitting with them, and again, if they're hungry, you help to feed them. If they don't have clothes, then you help to clothe them. Absolutely. But the real charity that comes from the spirit, the soul, the heart, is your time, because your time is precious. And if you are 100% listening to someone else and not looking at your damn cell phone or texting or watching TV, if you're genuinely one-on-oneing with someone, you're giving them the most precious and the most valuable thing you have, because you will never get that back. So.
Well, and some people, when we're going to talk about food, like Christy's saying, oh, my great-great-great-grandmother said you were not being generous unless it hurt to give your last loaf of bread. Now, you have to keep in mind what in each generation, you know what I'm saying? And it is very much in the indigenous way to not worry about tomorrow. And if I meet somebody that needs something now, then I share it, no matter how little of it that I have. I don't give it all away necessarily, but I share it. And even my elder, there was a time when his wife used to always, make him new vests, out of hide and this and that, or new jackets and stuff like that. She made great jackets. And like, anywhere he would go, somebody would go, oh, I really like that jacket. And like, he would then feel compelled to, based upon culture, take it off and give it to them because they said they liked it. And so his wife was threatening to stop making him, stuff because he keeps giving it away like that, And, but so when we're talking about food, it's one thing to throw a $5 bill to somebody on the street. It's a whole other thing to take food from your plate or your basket or your whatever. You know what I mean? And I look at that as, gosh, I'm not even sure. Like that's almost like to me, what's the word I'm looking for? Like that's like almost like a responsibility, an obligation, not a charity. If you see somebody hungry, of course you give them some bread or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I don't think that you're supposed to give until you become the charity.
No, I don't either.
That doesn't make sense. But
that's why I said, like, I don't give you it all, but I would definitely share. And the thing is that there's all kinds of people that have. All I'm saying is that the great grandmother is from an older generation, a whole different time, and then there are people that talk about, give till it hurts or blah blah blah, and if you give away something that you didn't really like anyway, then you really shouldn't. But does the person who was the recipient of what you gave away need and like what they got? That's the key. How you know what I mean?
Well,
no, nobody's trying to be a hero.
There was a generation, and it wasn't that long ago, where you don't see the hobos much anymore. But when they were riding the rails, there were markings that they would mark your doorstep with, like this is a good house to get a free meal, and walk on. So that. But you're right. Times have truly changed. I mean, there are soup kitchens, there are social services, there are places where people can go if they want to, and usually it's their pride that keeps them from going. And what they say, pride goeth before the fall.
Yeah. That's right. Well, I knew that pride left me when I went in labor, because it didn't matter who saw what then. I'm all like, get this baby out of me, right? And so, like, I understood that that saying in a way there. But yeah, the other time I was saying, sometimes you're going to do a bigger favor if you equip somebody with the tools that they can research and find their own resources in their own area, rather than you sending them $50 to take care of today's crisis, because tomorrow there's going to be another crisis. And so if we equip somebody, spend some time with them and show them how to look up the different agencies and everything else where they can receive immediate help in their own neighborhood, you know what I mean? Then I think you've done a better favor for that.
Saying, give a man a fish, you give him a meal for a day, teach him to fish, he has food for a lifetime.
Exactly right. So, okay, we're keeping my eye on. We'll tackle one more, and then we got some people that have been itching to talk to you. And you got so many fans out there, you know what I mean?
Oh, give it a rest. Give it a rest.
No, I'm sure. No, I actually said that with a straight face. There's people that wanted, that were disappointed on Wednesday when we couldn't do the show. You know what I mean? That last Wednesday. And so it was really, they were happy when we were able to reschedule you. So, okay. So let's just see, what advice do you give somebody who's experiencing intense energy shifts?
No, probably drugs and alcohol.
Woohoo! I love that. That's great.
Energy shifts can make you feel like you have the flu. It can make you feel like you're out of sync with reality. It can take you out of balance within your life. And sometimes it's ringing in the ears. Sometimes it's buzzing. Sometimes it's vertigo. Energy shifts take on a lot of different forms. Lots and lots of water, lots and lots of sleep. It feels like, and there have been energy shifts of late, so that a lot of people are going through, like you said, I don't know if it's menopause, I don't know if I have the flu, I don't know if, there's something going on energetically. And I would say for the most part, while the temperature is definitely up there, what people are feeling as far as a dis-ease within themselves is that there is a massive energy shift going on, and it's not going to be over until January. So it will be, fluctuating for the next 3-4 months. So to hang on, fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride for a while.
Safety glasses and a helmet, and you'll be good to go. Awesome. So you guys can check out, and you can even, Barbara has a spot on her website where you can submit one of the 101 questions. And you can submit a question to her there, and she'll answer it, essentially on the website then, yes?
Yeah, I've got about 200 of them, and I just have to have it's funny because when I get these questions, you know how you can flip out an answer, but I feel greater responsibility to really give people background for some of the questions and to really give them greater insight than a flip out would, so that they take longer than they would had somebody just asked me on a program or something. But I'm finding I'm learning a tremendous amount by doing the 101 questions. There are, like I said, I have over 200 of them. But when people submit them, I take care of theirs first, and I do put them up. But they can't be of. I've had a number of them saying, what does my grandmother think about me, or what do you see for the next 3 months for my future? And these are spiritually oriented questions that can apply to everybody. And if you send me one, I'll answer it almost immediately, and I will, contact you. I'll send you a note when it goes up on the website so you can go check it out.
Yeah, awesome, cool. Okay, well, do you need a break, or do you just want to jump in, or what?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, let's get going. Poor Beth, she was in here early. The second I opened up the chat room, Beth was waiting. And so let's go get Beth. Hi, Beth, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good, thanks. Thanks for calling.
I'm excited.
Oh, good. So you want to let her rip, or do you have a specific question?
I would like to just have her let it rip.
Okay. All right. Well, the next 12 months is going to be very interesting for you because it does feel you're going to be questioning just about every aspect in your life. And that's appropriate because you are changing, you are growing, and some things just aren't going to fit as well as they used to. So take the time to step back and question before you take steps. And you'll find that you'll gather information that is going to be very beneficial to you. I think the other thing that you need to hear is that the only thing that is slowing you down, the only thing that gets in your way is you. You are working at letting go of and trusting the higher consciousness, the inner spirit that is there to a greater degree. It does feel as though things are very crazy around you. It feels as though there's a lot going on, and it feels as though you sometimes feel that you have lost control. You have indeed lost control. Just enjoy the ride. It feels as though as we get into September, things are going to be a lot easier for you. There is a good flow of energy. You're letting go of emotionalities that you've sort of kept pent up. I feel that there is there will be an opportunity in September for you to sort of just burn off steam, whether you dig a hole and yell into it and fill it in and tap it down and say, I'm done with that, I can move on. however you choose to move forward, I feel you make a massive shift and change, and it does feel as though there is the element of lightening your load and feeling that you have let go of something that's been just dragging at you for years. As you hit the October time frame, there's a sense here of a weaving of energies, of your creative energies kind of coming more and more to the fore, and you'll find that the more you get into creative endeavors of any kind, that there is an absolute feeling of healing energy that goes along with it, and it is very impressive because it does feel as though what you're working at here is to blend these two energies together so that they can enlighten and enliven your life tremendously, so that there's a new focus, a new step, and a new energy that flows through you. Abundance coming to you in November. It feels as though you've been working very hard at a number of things, and it feels as though there's a blooming of a lot of the energy here. It feels as though there's a sense here of you coming into your own, so to speak, and as you hit the December time frame, here's where you have the opportunity to make some free choices for different directions that you can be going in. I don't feel that there's a bad direction you can go in. It's just that some are going to be easier than others. And I would highly recommend that you choose 3 or 4 directions because you work well as you split your energy up and you put it in different areas. New continuity of energy as you come into the January time frame. It is going to be a 1 year for all of us, so this means this is time to start new projects, to get things going. Don't start anything really new at this point in time. Wait until after the first of the year because a 1 year is the beginning of decades of work. So if you want to really, if you have an ongoing project that you want to start, don't do it now. Do it in January because then that almost guarantees that it will be with you for a decade. There's an element here, especially in the February time frame, that there's a lot of spiritual energy around you. I do feel that you've got spirits around you all the time anyhow, but there is a new awakening of an ability to sort of see their energetic fields. I'm not sure you'll see the forms, but I know you'll feel the energetic fields and you'll see them as well. So it's going to be a very exciting time for you. You will get your eyes checked, and you will find you either need, your glasses need to be fixed or increased or whatever, and if you don't have glasses, you're probably going to find that you will need them, but they'll be very attractive and they'll look good on you, so don't worry about it. As you get into March, there's a sense here of coming into your own inner truths, beginning to understand the philosophies that you've brought through time, and it feels like there's a lot of writing going on, as though you're suddenly feeling the need and the urge to put information down on paper. This is spiritual stuff. It's not, it's not like Inquirer stuff. It's philosophical stuff about spiritual energy and evolution and transformation. As you come into the April time frame, here's where your heart chakra opens up tremendously, and between April and May, there's a new power that comes into you. Now, you're not going to, leap buildings at a single bound or anything quite like that, but you are going to take your control back from the people that you've given it to. You are going to reclaim your energetic field, and you are going to feel empowered to take steps that you have been reluctant to take to this point in time. Spirituality's main focus as you hit the June time frame, it feels as though you have new energy flowing in here, new insight. You've basically, I feel, begun to activate some of the DNA within you that has not been activated, so that Hall of Records is available to you that you carry within. Some other aspects of the spiritual energetic fields will be flowing in as well. You may well feel that you are ill for a while, but I don't feel that you are. But again, lots and lots of water. New balance as you come into the July time frame next year. It does feel as though it's going to be a very exciting time for you, and having new power inside of you that you are able to utilize within your reality. You can't send bolts of lightning or anything like that, but it's insight and wisdom that is going to come to you more easily than it ever has before. Okay?
Hey, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So you'll have to maybe go. You can go and listen to the audio archive, and you can download it so that it doesn't ever disappear on you if you want. And usually people got to listen to Barbara's readings more than once to fully
I'll do
absorb
that.
them.
Thanks so much.
Okay, Beth. Thank you. Thanks for calling and supporting the show. Okay, so now we have, by my count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we go about 10 minutes each, which you did amazing on that, Barbara, and excellent time management. So I have 2 wireless callers down here, so I'm just going to go to one. You're going to hear a beep in your ear, and I'm going to say, "Who the heck do you think you are?" So hi there, caller. Who's that?
Hi, Chris. This is Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. I'm good too,
Great.
Thank you. And you were in early also, so there you go. So what can Barbara do for you?
Oh, well, Barbara, I'm just ready for my yearly Let It Rip.
Okie doke. Usually that happens in January. Okay. Spirit rules. There's a ton of spiritual energy around you, and it feels as though this is an area that you really have been focused on of late. It feels that you have been. There's the element here of old pictures and memories and reflections of the past, and things are pulling you into the past. Reflections of decades ago or centuries ago, whatever. And I feel you've got a lot of spiritual energy around you constantly these days, and it is significant in that there is an ascension process going on within you, and as these ascension processes happen, your ability to see in different frequencies, hear in different frequency, expands greatly. So it's sort of like you're tuning into new levels of spiritual energy that you haven't been able to tune into for a long time. So what's happening here is that you're being guided in new and different ways. I would say that you've been sort of looking for the roadmap, so to speak, or the signs, and you see it feels like you've been sort of going in circles for a while, and I would say that you're finally attracting to yourself new energies around you, new people around you. They seem to be friends, but teachers and people that you can sort of talk to and kick things back and forth with. As you come into September, there's a new unity of feeling within you, and it does feel as though you are more singularly focused than you ever have been before. It is time, by the way, to take care of yourself and do good things for yourself, whether it's, watching your diet or adjusting, your intake of vitamins and stuff like that. It feels as though you're at a time where you have been out of balance slightly, and it's time to get yourself back into balance. There's a sense here of the other side trying to get through to you. It feels as though you've been talking to Spirit a lot and just wondering why you haven't been getting any return messages, at least on some level. I do think you do get messages on one level, but you're looking for a higher level of message, and it feels as though you need to trust yourself to open to the messages that are actually there, because there are a lot of them there. And the element of coincidence is absolutely profoundly impressive here as far as the whole year goes. So really a journal of some sort that keeps track of all these coincidences would be a very wise thing for you. As you move into the November time frame, here's where you're putting your house in order, and it's really, I'm not saying it's messy, but I am saying that there is a need for compartmentalization. There's a need for getting rid of things that you don't need anymore. Usually I yell at people to declutter in the springtime, and this looks as though your decluttering needs to take place before the change of the year. It's important because it feels like you're overloaded with things that don't reflect as to who you are now and the directions that you're going in. Phoenix rising energy is in the December time frame, so it feels as though there is a rebirthing out of the ashes of the old, so to speak. You're birthing new aspects of yourself. You're birthing new talents, skills, and abilities within yourself. It's a time to let go of some of the doubts and the questions that you've had, and by saying letting go of questions, in a way it's some of the questions that you already know the answers to. You keep asking the same questions anyhow, but you're getting the answers, and so I would say that trusting to that master teacher that you carry within you is going to be the major thing that comes up over and over and over again as you get into the new year. We all carry a master spirit within us that is directly attached to the God consciousness, cosmic consciousness, universal consciousness, and that energy is seeking to help you to utilize some of those that wisdom that you have carried through time. I would send you into looking at a lot of the universal laws, because it feels to me as though while you know them and know of them, it's important that you start to walk them rather than talk them. It's really great to sit and chat and talk about these things with friends, but unless you're living your philosophies, nobody listens to you. I speak from experience there. Not that I'm perfect, but there was a time where I tried to preach without actually having experienced lessons, and I found I was not too effective. As you come into the February timeframe, here's where there's a lot of communication stuff going on. You're communicating not only with this realm but other realms. You're sending out messages to other dimensions. It's almost as though you are learning and becoming aware that time is only relevant here on the earth plane, that time does not exist out in the universe, that I see you looking into things like, multi dimensions occurring at the same time, that string theory is here. Don't sign up for physics courses or anything like that, but it feels to me as though Spirit is taking you on quite an adventure as far as research and things like that. Just go by where you're led to. Don't try to direct it yourself. I feel strongly that you are so sincerely on a spiritual pathway that sometimes you get in your own way, and if you just go with the flow and allow things to come to you, magic happens, and I do feel that once we hit the first of the year, magic is going to hit you increasingly in greater quantities and qualities than it has in the past. Crown chakra is really very, very active in the March time frame. It's almost as though it is opening to a new degree. There is a new level of understanding and wisdom. There's also it's almost as though there is greater sensitivity in your hands here in this particular time frame, March, and that healing energy of all sorts is available to you. If you haven't done Reiki, I would look into it. If you are a Reiki master or you have a level 2 Reiki, I would say, sharing it, using it, understanding that it was initially taught to us to use on ourselves. I feel that you have the ability and the talent and the skill to be a practitioner, but it feels like you basically are looking to use it on other people, and unless you use it on yourself, that old adage of heal or heal thyself is very prominent here. So do understand that while we work on other people, we need to work on ourselves as well. And that goes not only for just energy work, but it goes for philosophy. It goes for teaching concepts. It goes for lessons that you've learned that you just think are so fabulous that you want to spread out there. If you're not practicing what it is you're preaching, you've missed a beat. You've missed a step. And it feels to me as though what you have to share is so important. It's so crucial that you not skip a step. As you hit April, there's a new foundation here. There's a new foundation you're working from. You're working with new modalities. You're working with new talents and skills, and it's very exciting. Every time we think we know it all, then we discover there's a whole new branch to the library, and it feels like that's what's happening with you here. I've been in this field for over 50 years, and every time I think, well, now I've covered everything, I hear laughter someplace and find that there's, at least 5 more floors on top of me or something like that. That's the kind of feeling I'm feeling you're going to hit here in the April-May time frame. May is a time of transmutation. It's a time of understanding that the lessons that come to you are lessons that you've actually asked for. You wrote out the roadmap before you entered into this lifetime, and once you fully grasp that and understand it, it makes the trip a lot easier. And you never would put anything in front of you if you weren't fully capable of dealing with it and dealing with it brilliantly. As you come into the June time frame, evolving into new understanding of yourself and a lot of the people around you, you're seeing the people around you that are involved in your life with new vision, new eyes, new understanding, and there is definitely a better grasp of reading people. I feel that you will be able to see where people are coming from and the things that the potential they carry within. You won't be able to see whether they're able to realize that potential this lifetime, but you're going to be seeing more deeply into the people that come into your life than ever before. And basically, as you get into the July time frame, there's laughter, joy, and celebration here. So it feels like there's a reunion of some sort, a gathering of some sort. May even be travel next year above and beyond what you anticipate and expect. Okay?
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you for your words of wisdom. Oh, yes. I always look forward to this. So thank you so much,
Thank
Barbara.
you, Nancy. Okay, Nancy, you take care. And all right, and Nancy was actually the first one in the room today, so I'm glad I saw that there. Second wireless caller. I'm not sure if this is Dion. It jumped on me. Hang on. Okay, who's this one?
No, it is me.
Hello. So,
I'm here.
What's going on? Yeah. So
Barbara's
what you should do is while you're on the phone, you should. Where are you? Are you in the chat room? There you are. You can just.
I have the computer on.
Yeah, you should turn the sound on the computer off or whatever while you're on the phone.
Okay, hold on one second.
Anyway. Oh, okay. So they let that. You remember the case, the Stephen Avery thing, Barbara, and his little nephew that was all borderline retarded.
Yeah.
That also went in. They overturned his conviction today, which is good, in my opinion.
Oh. Yeah.
That the young kid. Yeah, that was a raw deal all the way around. So if the state retries him, then then he'll go back on trial. But otherwise, he'll be released in 90 days. Sounds like they're giving the state 90 days to decide whether they'll retry him or not. And so, so that is good. Are you back with us, Dion?
I am.
Okay, so ask your question.
I have a question for Barbara.
Okay.
All right.
I'm so excited because I know that you know.
Okay.
I know it's funny, right? But you do know. Okay, I have a guy who is interested. Should I next him or
Run
keep
for
him?
your life. Run for your life. I'm kidding.
Okay, how long have you known him?
I don't know, like 14 years.
Okay. Well, first of all, the fact that you're even asking me makes me wonder if you're comfortable with him.
I know, but I'm perpetually single. That's a problem.
Okay.
I'm more the problem than the guy. So I'm just going to throw it out there because I don't...
Oh, I would agree with you on that one. This seems like a really nice guy. A very sweet man.
Right.
But I think you'll eat him alive. It feels to me as though you have a far greater intensity than he does. and that he's not a match for that intensity. I think he's a sweet, wonderful guy. I certainly wouldn't get rid of him. But if you're looking for a life partner, I don't feel that he would survive that long. And not that he's going to die. I just feel that you would get tired of him.
Okay.
And you know, like I said, you have an amazingly powerful energy here, and when it comes to relationship, the intensity that you expect, as far as loyalty and faithfulness and the intellectual stuff is, you know, your requirements are profound. I'm not sure that he's capable of keeping up with you. Now, how long have you been going out with him?
Not long.
How long?
Not long. It's very recent. But I've known him a long time. He always asks me to go out, and I never go. I know. I'm goofy.
Yeah. I think you must be bored. Because if you really felt a strong pull to this person, you would have gone, and there wouldn't have been a question. But I think he's a great diversion. I think you'll have a good time with him. But I just don't see this as being kind of person that you need to have in your life to give you a run for your money.
Okay.
Now it does appear that the element of commitment is here. But let me see. 8, 9, 10. Yeah, within the next year, it does feel as though there is a committed relationship, and that's 12 months from now. But to be honest with you, I think you're afraid of commitment. So I think you have some work to do.
I do.
And now, when I say work to do, and it was funny, I was talking to Renee Richards today because she's going to be on my show Monday night. Shameless promotion here. We were talking about...
That's evil, Barbara. Evil.
I know. Sorry.
Evil.
Renee Richards and I, Monday night. But I was talking with her about, you know, we often tell people you have work to do, and we don't tell you what it is. So I'm going to tell you what it is. You have work to do on yourself as far as getting in touch with who you are and working on that self-awareness and that self-empowerment and that self-worthiness that's inside of you. You are so strong that at this moment that you tend to not make it almost impossible to have a balanced relationship. No,
I do make it impossible. You're right about that.
Okay, so basically, you have to be able to calm yourself down enough so that you can be patient and sharing, and there can be a balance in relationship as opposed, I mean, you'll just go whole hog in and you'll scare the hell out of anybody that comes in.
I think that it's a little bit like the puppy dog that's chasing the car. They don't really want to catch the car and wouldn't know what the hell to do with the car when they did catch it. But the chase is fun.
Right. That's right.
Well, what I'm seeing here is somebody. See, it almost feels like you're doing the pursuing all the time. I see someone pursuing you if you can just back it up a little bit.
Okay.
And you know, you seem perfectly happy to be by yourself.
Correct.
And as long as you're that content there, see, I found that when you let the universe know that if this is it, I'm fine, I'm content, I'm happy, then the universe says, well, let's test that. Let's throw stuff at her and see just how content and happy she is. And then you can start to either say, no, thank you, or, okay, this looks good. So I just feel that you're bored and you want to play with this guy. And I don't see anything wrong with playing with him, except unless you want to practice having a balanced relationship. And you could use the practice.
I kind of do.
Well, then
I think that would be healthy.
Yeah. It just is, I don't think this is the guy. I mean, yeah, go ahead. Go out with him. He's not an axe murderer or anything like that. He's got a nice energy. But probably he's going to be a much better friend than a relationship.
Okay, I received that.
He would be a great friend.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
That's like me. I go like, there was a guy on my dart team and he wanted to date, and I'm like, you know what? I'd make a way better friend, and like when we break up, you know what I mean? One of us has to leave the dart team, and I don't really want that to happen. So let's just stay friends, okay?
Good way to do it.
And so, yeah. And I like playing darts, and I don't mind you either, but I don't really think, that it's going to work out. So, okay, is that good for you, Dion?
It is. Thank you.
All right. Happy chasing.
Thank you.
Actually, happy being chased. Let them catch you every now and then. And so, okay. Gonna go and mute. Now we're gonna go. Now this person might be calling from like a business phone, Telos, PCS, whatever. So, who's this, please?
Hey, Chris, it's Eric.
Oh, hey, Eric. Oh, look at you with the company phone.
Well, actually, it's just my cell phone, but it just shows up as a certain carrier. That's all.
Gotcha. Okay, Eric, so what's going on?
Well, I always love to hear Barbara talk about past lives in readings, so I was wondering maybe if she could do any reading on past lives that she might pick up for me.
Sure, no problem. Actually, it's kind of interesting. I see you drawing circles in the dirt. And not this life, but in past lifetimes. And it appears that in a couple of past lifetimes you were what I would call a seer. And not a psychic, not a prophet, but a seer. And what you used to do is to draw a circle and then stand in the center of it and close your eyes, and you would get visions, and you would see. This is going back like almost 1,000 years, and I'm seeing you in Africa, more towards Egypt. So I'm not sure if in that area, and basically you would stand there until you got the answer to the question that you had posed before you stepped into the circle. And once in the circle, you were protected. And there was magic and mystery connected to your process. Lots of people, tried drawing circles and stepping in the center of them and stood there and they got mosquito bites. But when you stepped in the center, it was almost like there was a globe of the Get Smart guy with a globe of silent type thing. And you actually were able to encase yourself in an energy bubble so that nothing got in other than the wisdom that you were pulling back to answer the question you had posed. You were amazing in that you wouldn't accept any sort of gift or anything for what you did. You did it when you felt it was right, and you couldn't be compelled to do it. You were oftentimes taken by wealthy and powerful people, and they couldn't buy you and they couldn't force you, and you did spend quite a bit of time in isolation a number of times because you just refused to serve whoever was imprisoning you. But you always got let go, and it was towards the end of your life, in that particular lifetime, you really did seek seclusion, and you were one who would ask a question that had to do with the destiny of humanity or something like that. You're a very wise person, but you just didn't relate to the indigenous people of that time frame. I feel strongly that you were interdimensional in that lifetime, that when you drew the circle and you stepped in the center of it, in many ways you were able to isolate yourself from this reality and go into another reality or dimension. It was almost as though it was whoa, that's cool. It was almost as though and you did not die in that lifetime. You just weren't. And one day you drew the circle, you stepped inside it, it encased you in that energetic field, and you were gone. So my feeling is that you transported to another dimension. The soul energy you have now has memory of that kind of behavior, and I would think that circles are something that you are very drawn to. I would say that if you are, that I would draw a circle big enough and to lay down in. Don't stand, because I have a feeling you'll get dizzy. But if you draw a circle and lay down in it, you probably can form an energetic seal there that will put you in a place of deep meditation. And you may be able to get in touch with some of the parts of your spirit that you've been looking to get in touch with. I take you to, I want to take you to Japan. And it's interesting because the Japan that I'm seeing now has a much greater land mass than, as a matter of fact, it's not even really an island now. From what I'm seeing, I think I'm going back 5,000 or 6,000 years. It's not an island that I'm seeing. It's a part of the mainland, and I see you using stones. And these are just beach stones. They're rounded stones, so they're the tumbled stones. They're, like river rocks and things like that. But they're soft, they're smooth, and they feel as though they're they feel like they're tumbled. They're not polished, but they're very, very smooth, and they're about the size of the tip of your thumb. And you lay them out in a circle, and then you scatter other stones into the center, and that gives you the message to give to the person. People didn't bring you questions. They came to you for messages from the other side. So basically what would happen would be someone would sit with you, and they wouldn't say anything to you. You would do your circle. You would cast the stones. You would tell them what Spirit gave you, and they would apply it to their lives and walk away. And you were always dead on. And even sometimes when people didn't understand the message that you gave them, first of all, it always made sense to you, and secondly, it always applied to their lives within a week or so of having given the message. Again, you wandered the countryside. You, in that particular lifetime, you were people called you a holy person. You didn't preach or teach a philosophy or a religion. All you did really was to draw your circle of stones and then cast the other stones in the center of it and tell them a wisdom that was appropriate for their spirit at that particular point in time. I think a much better way to actually give information to someone, don't ask me a question, just let me give you what is here. And that to me is far more worthy of going into spirit and getting a message for someone. I feel that this lifetime, the element of the circle is very important to you, so that you may find that travel in circles sometimes. I feel strongly that the element of circle is something that you are drawn to, and certainly I don't light candles and sit in the middle of the circle, but no, don't use candles at all. But I would say creating a circle of some sort, whether it's chalk on the floor, not on carpeting, please, or if it was, I'm trying to think of how would you do it? Carpeting. It has to be
Could you do a crystal grid, a circle?
Could do a crystal grid, yeah. I just trying to. You can do that, but I keep hearing draw a circle. So, and if you wanted to just meditate, you could take a circle on a piece of paper and focus on the center of the circle and be drawn into the circle that way. But I think that the most powerful thing would be to lay in a circle that was drawn on the floor. I still see drawing on the floor. If you want to lie on something inside a circle that you've drawn on the floor, that would be fine. the circle seems really, really important to you. It's almost as though you create your own personal mandala by being the mandala. And mandalas are representations of a person's wholeness or a concept of a wholeness. So I would say this lifetime it's really important for you to utilize the circle. Are you anywhere near a beach?
Well, periodically I do visit my parents who live at a beach, but they're maybe 5-6 hours away from me where I live.
Well, the next time, dirt is fine too, but I keep feeling beach here. The next time you hit a beach, a place where there's sand, draw a circle and lay down inside of it and just kind of close your eyes and go into yourself, because I have a feeling that you will have a profound experience and it enlightening in many different ways. And going back to the circle connects you to the antiquity here and opens you up to the wisdom from those lifetimes. And it may also trigger some of the gifts and talents that were in those lifetimes, because you carry them in your DNA. So there's no reason why you can't activate them this lifetime. Okay?
Great. Thank you so much, Barbara.
You're welcome.
All right. Thanks, Eric.
Eric has been calling into my shows forever.
Yeah. Okay, now, let's see who this person is. It's like either Kala or Margus, Kayla. I don't know. You're hearing a beep in your ear. Who's this?
Were you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Jennifer.
Oh, hey, Jennifer. Long lost Jennifer.
Jennifer.
How's it going?
Hotter than a lick. You're
not going to touch that one.
No.
Not going to touch that one. So what's going on with your bad self, stranger?
Oh, doing a lot of nothing. Doing a whole lot.
I have a crystal ball now. Did you know that? I have a crystal ball.
I didn't know. That's exciting. Who gave it to you? So I know you didn't leave the house to get it.
It's huge. It's huge even. I take it you're on the phone and not in the chat room. It's a serpentine ball. And Kathleen Moore gave it to me. And oh my God, you're not going to believe this. This is the truth, okay?
The truth, good.
The truth,
usually lies,
the truth. No, because it sounds so ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous, but it's absolutely the truth. So shortly after I got it, I sat on the couch in the middle of the night one night, and I was like, gazing into it, and I got there. I got into the ball, if you know what I mean. And
I know what you mean.
So I had a white-haired woman appear in the ball. And then a little bit after that, I saw a dog with brown hair, tilted head, floppy ear come into the ball. And then I saw almost like what do you call the robe wearing religious guys with the hoods and like the
monk?
Hare Krishna?
A monk. Oh. Like a monk. And so I haven't figured out anything about the monk yet. But a little while after that, this was sort of around not long after Kathy passed away. And so I was in the battle to get her BTR account because Nick is actually the co-owner and we wanted to continue the account. And so I was going through her Facebook pictures looking for evidence because she had a lot of pictures like co-owner, Nick and myself. Like I was just looking for stuff like that. And I came across the picture of the damn dog. The exact tilted head, floppy ear. And then I go, duh, woman with white hair, that had to have been Kathy.
Your evidence.
So that was so cool. Anyway, enough about me. Of course, I wanted to mention the crystal ball to you because you're the only other person I know. Really, I think you're the only one that's ever done like a live crystal ball reading. So, anyway, do you have a question for Barbara?
Barbara, I would love and you know what? I remember one that I had a couple of years ago from you, and it was really, really good. But the things that are supposed to happen haven't happened yet. So I'm looking for any blocks as to why I can't get to where I need to be, what my past life is telling me to do.
Well, it feels to me as though, well, I'm going to hit you with the creativity, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got cards out here and I don't see anything. Are you doing anything creative?
No, I want to be.
But duh.
She's in banking. It doesn't get any more creative than that.
Actually, I'm not in banking anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I am between opportunities.
You're in transition.
Yes.
I said this before. You put gas in the car to fuel it. You put food in your body to fuel it. If you want your life to move forward, you have to fuel it. The only way to fuel it is creative energy, and that will open the creative channels so spiritual energy can flow into your life and move you ahead. So you have the key. It's as easy as that. Say you're blocked. So you say it, you create it. You're not blocked. And it's a hard one to break, but certainly you're capable of it. We never put anything in front of ourselves that we're not capable of getting over, through, or out of. It feels to me as though you have put everything aside and you've stopped everything of a creative nature, waiting for something to happen, and nothing's going to happen till you get the creativity going again. It can be as simple as journaling. It can be, getting a hobby that's creative. It has to be something that you do that you enjoy.
Drinking wine. Drinking wine's not creative, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's enjoyable, but it's not. I would, you have poetry in your spirit, so I do believe you've written poetry at one time or another.
Yes.
Not necessarily good poetry, but you've written it. So
that was published.
Then I would get back to that. I would get back to definitely to writing, but I would start with a gratitude journal, because that doesn't put a great deal of pressure on yourself. And the rule with these gratitude journals, and it sounds very easy to do a gratitude journal. Every night before you go to bed, you have to write something you were grateful about. And you have to expand on it a little bit. It can't just be a great sunset, good night. It has to be, you have to write a couple paragraphs here. But you can only use each situation once. You can never, ever repeat. So quickly you will run out of the easy stuff. And that's when spirit will start to work through you and to manifest into the things that you are grateful for. At first it's I'm thankful for dinner, I'm thankful for lunch, I'm thankful for, a house to live in. There are easy given ones. Sooner or later you have to begin to get creative about what it is you're thankful for. And when that happens, then the spirit within you starts to flow through you, and then you have opened that channel, that door to the higher consciousness. And when that happens, then all sorts of things start to manifest within your life and move and change and grow and shift. But part of this is a discipline, so that every night you are writing something you are grateful for. Part of it at first is going to be very easy because, there's a lot of easy stuff to be grateful for. But again, you have to, depending on the size of the page, write one page. And expand upon why you're grateful for it and how you're grateful for it. But then you're going to get to things that suddenly you'll find you're going deeper and deeper into yourself about your feelings and your attitudes and your philosophies and all sorts of stuff. It's a wonderful way to ease yourself into a communication with a higher consciousness inside of you.
Excellent idea. You know, I do practice the gratitude thing, but I don't put it in writing. So putting in writing.
Well, not only that, but I don't see you being consistent with it.
I'm pretty good with the gratitude. Every day I'm always finding gratitude for everything. I am very, and my kids.
I say this often. If it's in your head, it's not in this world. By writing it, you put it in this reality, and therefore it's in this reality, and Spirit knows you have the intent to open that channel. In your head, Spirit doesn't know if you're ever going to manifest it or not, but if you put it on paper, if you put it down someplace, then there is a commitment to this reality to literally carve it in stone. And when you start doing that, things start to happen.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah, and you know, I have to tell you, you know, it's the first things we put aside when things get heavy is the creative. And that's what is the key to moving our lives forward. And because it doesn't appear to be that important, it's an easy thing to, you know, just put it aside and say, I'll get to that when things are better. I don't have the mind for that now. I can't focus on good things, or I'm too busy balancing my checkbook or whatever. And the creative things get put aside first. But without the creative in your life doesn't have the spiritual vibrancy and luster that it does if you just open that channel up so that stuff can flow.
Yes, and I feel like when you do that, you're stretching yourself as well.
Absolutely.
And you're getting out of your comfort zone because, you know, you become complacent. You know, you've got a roof over your head, you just sit on the table, you become complacent, and you don't see what can evolve out of
Exactly.
life. You don't take those opportunities.
The only thing that is slowing you down is you, and watch how you say what's going on in your life now. You know, you're in transit. You're very excited because you have new potential here, and you're going to get into a new job, and it's going to be so exciting because it's going to be so much more manifestational for you. And it's a good thing that you left where you were, and now you have your horizons are opening up in front of you, and it's a time of new beginnings. And it's a perfect time to lose your job because this is a 9-year, and it means you're tying up things that no longer apply to you. And so as you get into the next year, it's a 1 year, and it's new beginnings, and it's fresh starts, and it's a very exciting time. I mean, let's look at the very exciting stuff that's going on here instead of I don't have a job.
But I didn't say that. I said it was between opportunities.
Well, let's get excited about the fact that you're between opportunities.
Got all tired with that, or what? Like, did you just walk away from a great job like that?
Yep.
Wow. I did the
same
thing, and I regret it.
Well, you know what, though? It started a whole domino effect because people said, well, what's going on? I said, you only have one life. And I said, I got to do something more. I can't keep doing this and not being fulfilled by it. And then all of a sudden, people started dropping like flies. Everybody started leaving. Maybe about 10 people have left subsequent to that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's strange. Now they're desperate for people. I'm like, well, you know what? You can't not challenge people. You can't just expect people to go in and do the same thing and not promote them or give them other things to do to stretch them. I get bored after 4 or 5 years.
I hear you. Well, good for you.
Yeah, well, it was a risk. Oh, yeah, enjoy your crystal ball.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I got another one, too, and it's a little teeny one, and it's like a gold obsidian. There's like some gold stuff in it. I can't remember the exact name of it. It's interesting.
Is it rutilated quartz?
I'd have to go look. I'll go look it up. I'll go look up what they're calling it. So, Jennifer, thank you for calling.
Yes.
Nice to catch up with you.
Oh,
nice to catch
my
up
pleasure.
with you.
Thank you, Barbara.
You're welcome.
Thank you for kicking me in the ass, Barbara.
My pleasure.
and not having the steel-toe boots on when she did it.
Okay,
right. I'm gonna. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Thank you. Always nice to hear from Jennifer. And then let's go. Brittany just had her birthday the other day. Go get Brittany. Hi, Brittany. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. So what's up? What do you need?
Could I get a letter rip on?
Sure. Okay, there's a new flow of energy through you. It feels as though the last couple of months has been an adjustment time for you, but it does feel as though you are at a place in time here where your energy is finally sort of coalescing and there is a new balance in your life. I'd say that this is a time in which this month especially where finding new balance is important. Bringing justice and balance into your life on all levels is certainly a focus for this month. And as you get into the September time frame, there's a sense here of healing energy. And it does feel as though there have been aches and pains, or there's a need of stretching here, a real big need of stretching, whether it is just normal stretching or whether it's going to yoga or whether it's going to a gym. I'm not sure what it is, but I can tell you that in the September time frame especially, that there is a very there's a need for stretching, because it feels as though there's a stiffness here. And if you did stretching on a regular basis, you'd feel there would be greater fluidity within your body and within your thought as well, because it feels as though you have compartmentalized a lot of stuff, and it's sort of time to sort of stretch and expand yourself greatly. I'd say that as you hit the October time frame, there's a sense here of spiritual energy around you, as though it's a time, it feels like October is either the time of the birth of someone who has passed over, or it's the time of someone close to you who's passing. It feels as though this is a time of remembrance, of sort of going back over the past, not in a bad way, but not in a melancholy way, just kind of like acknowledging people that have passed over, and how the holiday season was a very special one to several of these people, it feels. As you hit the November time frame, there's a new sense here of understanding how you impact, how your words and your actions impact countless numbers of people, and it feels as though you're learning that words and gestures, carry deep messages, and it feels like you're really, really more cognizant of how you utilize the power that you have inside of you. December is a time in which spirituality is here. There's a great new feeling of a flow of energy, and I would say there's almost this is almost a time of very, very slight headaches, and it feels as though your crown chakra is really opening up to a greater extent. These are not migraines. These are not heavy-duty ones. These are just slight little headaches, and it feels like you maybe be sort of you'll be aware of them for the whole month of December, but it feels as though once we're through December, then everything flows a lot more easily, and it feels as though there's a great opening of your energy. There's a new surge of energy, a new frequency of energy, and it feels as though you kind of want to, I don't know, it's really kind of funny. You kind of want to look for a magic wand. I'm not sure that they actually work, but it looks like you're searching for a magic wand, which is kind of cool. They're out there, and some of them are very pretty. They're symbolic, of course. As you come into the January time frame, there's a sense here of music being a very important part to your life. It feels as though there's a lot more music in your life here in the January time frame than there has been in the past, so that you kind of are incorporating it into a meditation, into ways of kind of taking you over that bridge of, between the consciousness and the higher consciousness, so So that music does open you to, it provides portals to other dimensions and other other past lives and other aspects of yourself on a higher consciousness level. New beginnings here as you hit the February time frame. It feels as though you are looking to make fresh starts in new areas, and this is also a time where the element of relationship comes up here, and it does feel as though there are new aspects to relationships in all aspects of your life here, so that relationship is something that you're going to be working on for the next decade or so. It's a good thing. It means that you're looking for a greater balance, a better understanding. It feels as though the aspect of lines of communication are being opened more greatly, and it feels as though you're getting more out of relationships, both friendship and love relationships, than you ever have before. New energy that will flow into the March time frame. March is a very, very long month for some reason, and it feels as though there's a lot of work that you have to do here. It's almost like you are going through boxes, going through closets. It's a time. I don't know if you're packing or what, but you've certainly started to declutter yourself greatly, and it feels as though it's a great way to let go of some of the emotional stuff that you have going on here. As you hit April, there's a sense here of free will, of making choices for new directions, and it feels as though there's a sense here of expanding your intellect and moving into new areas of study, finding new things to research and new ways to expand the tool belt that you have here, both on a spiritual and a practical level. So there's a sense here of classes or workshops or something like that starting in the springtime. May has you with a tremendous amount of energy going in lots of different directions. It feels as though you absolutely have overbooked yourself. It's almost as though you're getting... This is also a time of partying. There's a lot of partying going on here, gathering. It feels almost reunion-like, and as you hit June time frame, you've got here the element of discovering more of your own inner personal higher truths. And this is June is a time where you're really beginning to understand the laws, the rules that your spirit brings into this lifetime, and the laws that apply to you most directly. Universal laws apply to us all the time. They're always at work within our lives constantly. But we have personal truths as well, and it feels to me as though June is going to be a time where you find that there are some of your truths that some people have decided to push you on and you push back. And this is not necessarily like you, but it does feel as though you stand your ground, and I think that it's very important that you do so because it lets people know exactly where you stand. A lot of people don't know. You don't get out there and declare, what you believe in often, but in the June time frame, it feels like you do. July is a time frame where pieces of a puzzle come together. It feels as though you begin to understand some of the new directions that you're going to be going in. You're not going to know all of them, but you're going to know some of them, and that's going to give you something to on and to work on and with and towards as the 2017 evolves. Okay?
Okay, great. Thank you. The headache thing that you mentioned too is it's happened a lot to me this summer too.
Well, yeah, it's new energy flowing in, and if you have concerns about it, get your eyes checked. You may need glasses, but it doesn't feel as though it's anything really horrible.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, great.
Okay, thanks, Brittany. I'm trying to get the freaking. So if hang on a second. Let me see if she's not still listening.
I have something I want to share if there's nobody else.
Okay, but there is. But go ahead and share.
Okay, I have somebody that I interviewed, and she works with self-hypnosis and weight loss, and she sent me her program, and it's a 3-hour program. It's a 2-hour.
Like you need to lose weight.
I do. It's a 2-hour. It's a 2-hour video with 3 meditations, and she leads you through the whole thing. And what it does is she, in many ways, you use self-hypnosis to cut something out. Baked goods, caffeine, smoking. But what you do is you literally self-hypnotize yourself. Now, Deb Schiller did this, and in the 2-week time frame, she lost 10 pounds, and she wasn't trying.
Wow.
So I need more guinea pigs. So if anybody's interested in doing this, or if you have
if it's free, count me in.
It's free.
Okay,
Everybody, just my address, email is barbara-delong@gmail.com. Just send me an email. I will send you the whole program. All you have to do is, take the 3 hours and do it, and then keep track and see. I need to have people, try this. I need guinea pigs, not guineas, guinea pigs. and it's free.
All
it's
right.
Totally free. And my thought here is, if it works for you on a food, you can do it with more things. You can do it on habits. You can do it on self-hypnotizing. It's teaching you, in a way, self-hypnosis. The 3 little meditations in here literally get you into that flow of energy. And I really want to test it out. So barbara-delong@gmail.com. Send me your email and put on it, self-hypnosis or weight loss or whatever. And I want feedback. I want to hear feedback. I'm going to be back here in a month or less than a month now. First Wednesday of September. And I want to hear from you guys. I want to know, did it work, and what did you feel?
Yeah. I just have to figure out what I'm giving up. Right?
Well, what it does is you basically, and she talks about it in the video, you really hypnotize yourself to not see things. In other words, if like me, I need to give up baked goods because I'm allergic to wheat, and I, my greatest comfort food is Pepperidge Farm's coconut cake. And I eat that, and I'm sick as a dog. And the first 10 pounds did not come back, Deb says. So,
right.
So you can do baked goods, you can do caffeine, you can do, I don't know, if there's something you want.
Well, caffeine is a good weight loss tool, but the sugar and the cream not so much. So I might try to see if I can have coffee without cream and sugar.
Well, why don't you just
That's where
give
most
up?
of my calories. No.
No? You eat better foods? I don't know, probably. If you want the program, send me your email. I'll send it to you.
I already sent it. But I'm just thinking that most of my calories come from coffee, from the cream and sugar I put in my coffee.
Ah. Well, I would.
So if I can, not coffee that's bad. In fact, coffee is known to help in weight loss, and
absolutely,
but not when you add cream and sugar to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe I can hypnotize myself to enjoy coffee without cream and sugar.
You may well be. Like I said, Deb has tried it. She worked. It worked for her.
Now, Brittany, there's your screeching noise.
What?
Should I? I just heard the smoke detector. We're done with you, right, Brittany? Happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday to you. Happy belated birthday to you. Happy belated birthday, dear Brittany. Happy belated birthday to you. Okay, you're muted. Okay. So, everybody got that. I put your email in the chat room. And now we have, Christy, are you supposedly in there for a reading? And then I have another person too. So can we do 3 quickies? Unless Christy's just listening. Yes, okay.
I mean, just so long as they're not letter rips. If they got questions, no problem.
Well, instead of doing a whole year's letter rip, just do 3 months letter rip. You know what I mean?
No, you can't
If
stop
that-
a letter.
okay.
Once you're ripping, you have to keep going.
Okay. All right, let's go get Mary Margaret.
Hi.
All right, guys. Hi.
Well, I was going to do a letter rip, so I don't know a question, but I sent you an email for the self-hypnosis. That would be awesome.
I will share that. Let me just give you what Spirit gives me here for you.
Good job.
Okay. Feels like this is a time to sort of start organizing. It feels like you have a need to get organized. And even though you seem to think you're organized, you're really not. So this is a time of prioritizing. This is a time of getting your ducks in order. I feel that the next couple of months are really important for you to sort of get things lined up. I feel that you almost panic when you get to the end of the year because there were things you wanted to complete and stuff like that. And so my feeling is things are backing up on you, so it's really time to start prioritizing stuff, taking care of stuff, because you want to get to the end of the year with a lot of stuff finished. If you're not going to finish something, get rid of it.
Okay.
If you are, because you got stuff that started all over the place, and it's amazing. You've started a ton of stuff, but
I know.
do you get bored with it? Is that what happens?
Oh, my mind just keeps thinking of different stuff, and I go from one thing to the next.
Okay. Well, there's nothing wrong with that so long as you keep working on stuff, but you just put stuff aside and forget of it. Some stuff has cobwebs on it. So let's start prioritizing. Let's start getting stuff in order, because as you start into the September timeframe, this is a time where it's your choice. If you want to carry all this stuff for another decade or so, that's your business and your choice. But it seems to me that if you get rid of all the stuff that you're not going to finish,
Okay.
somebody is going to be thrilled with half-started everythings. And that means that as you hit the January timeframe, it's new beginnings, it's fresh starts, it's new stuff. And I will tell you what's going to happen. You will immediately overwhelm yourself with lots of new stuff you've started that will be around for probably another decade, but at least it'll be new stuff.
Thank you, Barbara.
You're welcome.
And you hit me right on the head.
No hitting. Awesome. Okay. Sorry, Mary Margaret. That means next time, Barbara, sure you still qualify for a letter rip. Okay.
Okay, no problem. I needed that.
All right. Okay.
But
And I promised that like these the other people I didn't notice the hand up on Mary Margaret before these. I'm trying to be fair and go in the order that I think, but I can't always be sure. Now I had so people that are joining this late, like it's really hard. You know what I mean? You guys got a whole 2 hours. You could have been here 2 hours ago, and I could have time managed better. Let's go see who this person is. Now it was Mary Margaret. Then, who is this person? Hello.
Hi, it's Jackie.
Oh, hey, Jackie.
Hey.
Got a quick question?
No, I was just listening.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And hope things are going well, and thanks for listening. Now we're going to go get Morales. Who's that?
Yes, good evening. This is Raul.
Hello. Raul.
Hi. Yes.
How was Raul?
I'm doing okay.
Very good. Thank you for calling. What can we do for you?
Yes, I have a love question.
Oh, my God.
Yes, and it's a good one, too.
There is no good love question.
Oh, this is
Go ahead.
kind of fun. I want to know what I am doing to women. I don't even touch them, and we have a great connection, and they seem to run away.
You scared the daylights out of them.
I'm kidding.
What's that?
They're like, this guy ain't touching me. I'm out of here.
No, I think you scare them.
How do I do that?
Well, I think you're very intense from what I'm seeing, and that intensity scares them. you have to tone it back about 50 or 60 notches here. You have an amazingly wonderful intensity, but most women are not ready for that kind of intensity right off the bat. Women really need to get to know you to appreciate you, and there's a great deal here to appreciate. But you're just so intense, you want to pour it all on all at once, and that's overwhelming and that's scary.
So a follow-up will be that if that's, and I totally understand what you're saying, but if this is who I am, will I be cheating myself if I'm not who I'm supposed to be? This super loving, incredible person?
You're also very, very humble, I can tell. No, it's not. I'm not saying that you can't let it out. I'm saying that initially, don't overwhelm them. Just like most women, will say to a man, you have to earn my trust and my respect and everything. It's fair for you to say to a woman, when I get to know you better, I can be, super everything. I'm not saying don't be kind or loving or gracious. I'm saying you put it on too thick. And as a relationship grows, absolutely thicken it up. But you don't do it all at once. I mean, you don't unveil everything all at once. That takes away the mystery and the fun. I mean, otherwise you could just walk around with a sign around your neck, I'm the greatest lover in the world, want to try, and, you won't get the quality you want, but you'll probably get applications.
Yes, I understand. And
you want people to appreciate you. So why don't you make them earn the right to appreciate you?
That's a fabulous point. Can you pick up anything from this girl? Her name is Erica, which is somebody that I met, and the one that ran away after just 4 kisses, and I can tell that she was overwhelmed.
Shove your tongue halfway down her throat? Or?
No. I'm a little smoother than that. I know better. Dear Lord. We saw each other last year, and we saw each other again. I mean, we met actually last weekend, or a couple of weekends ago, and we hit it off really well. And yes, I went a little, my kiss probably was a little too much for her and my intensity, but now she's like, hey, I want to be friends. But I don't know how to approach that, take it to that speed. If there's still something going on there, or should I just forget about it?
Well, I think she wants to be friends, so that means you back off. And it means you be friends with her. You can scare somebody. And that's not the way relationships grow. Good relationships, ones that last for centuries, are founded on friendship. There's friendship.
Here's what I would recommend. If you're going to kiss a woman, and it's still a new thing, then you give nice little gentle short kisses. In other words, don't bear hug them and force them against you for an hour. And then let them go after more. If they go after more, match their intensity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let them show you how hot and heavy they want to get. And maybe for you that's the better way, so that you can keep a rein on it. You know what I mean? And and yet not do it, and not do it at all. And so just match their response. You know what I mean? And take it slow. Slow.
Don't waste it all on people that aren't worthy of it. You can run out,
Yeah, this is actually new to me. I'm usually, this is new. I noticed that in 2 situations. So I'm trying, or actually toning down a little bit, and I have so much energy. I'm actually, I feel so good, And I do find that dichotomy of having so much to give. And I'm being really humble. I was kind of joking earlier, but I'm being really humble. When it's like I have so much to give and I want to build something, but then that I get caught up in the giving too quickly, like you were saying. Yeah.
Well, if you really are looking for someone that you can respect and that you can have a long-term relationship with, then you really have to build it slowly.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise it's just flat out sex, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you won't find someone who is a forever person.
Yeah. Yeah. You just nailed it. I so much appreciate your time.
Thank you, Raul. You take it easy. Thanks for calling.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you.
All right. Okay. Okay, so Barbara, you guys all can find Barbara at barbara-delong.com. You can email her at barbara-delong@gmail.com if you want to participate in that, be a guinea pig in the weight loss program. And you must agree, though, to do it and to give feedback. Give feedback to her on that. And you got anything else to say, Barbara? Thank you for coming.
Oh, you're
on
welcome.
a non-Wednesday.
Yeah, I forgot totally about it. Chris had to call me and say, "You coming?" Yeah, Monday night is Renee Richards and me talking philosophy.
Awesome.
So that's
Sounds
what
good.
And maybe doing some readings. We haven't decided yet, but talking philosophy. So should be interesting.
Sounds good. Okay, Barbara. So thank you again, and we'll see you on the 7th of September.
Yep, I will be here. That's a Wednesday. I know to come then.
It is a Wednesday. Yeah, I know, right?
It's been what,
okay,
a couple of years? It's been a couple
yeah,
of
it's been
years.
like it absolutely has, and we got you. You did Sundays for a while, and then we settled you into the Wednesday slot.
Yes.
And
Works
so yeah.
well.
No worries. I know you're so busy doing so many things all the time. So thanks for your time tonight. And like I said, we'll see you in September. See you in September.
Yes, you will. Take care.
All right,
now.
Barbara. Good night.
Good night.
Take care. Good night. All right, kids. So there's that. It's going to be overtime. I'm going to play a song, and then we're going to go open mic and chill and hang out. And in fact, right now I'm going to thank the archive listeners. We'll be back tomorrow with Yvette Howell. I hope she's feeling better because she canceled an event today due to not feeling well, and so I'm hoping that she's okay for tomorrow's show. Of course, I understand if she's not, and it matters more that she feels good. So, okay, so I'm going to end the recording now. Thank you very much,